Hi, welcome to Made with Love by Daisy. This is the last part of this 10-part series on Amigurumi Basics. You can find the entire playlist here. Here are all the samples that I had made while filming this series. Now you need to understand that these are only some of the options available. The possibilities are endless. Take this sample for example. This was the yarn under method and I made it in the continuous rounds. This can also be made with the invisible joint or the front loop only method, and it would probably give you a result that's not exactly the same as this. And more importantly, all of these methods are used by many amigurumi artists. I did not just make them up as I went. And there are a lot more techniques. These are just the ones most widely used. And like I mentioned earlier, I like to pick the method most suited for the project I have in mind. Take this project for example. This was one of the course projects for a domestica course that I took. This technique is called tapestry crochet. So where you follow a graph, do the color work following the graph, and you get these beautiful designs. For this project, we used the back loop only method. Because the stitches line up straight, it will not distort the graph. Like if you did the same design in both loops, it would probably pull the design like this and it would completely distort the design. This is supposed to be a bag, so though this is not amigurumi, but it is still worked in the round, so all the principles that are applicable to amigurumi also apply to this. Take this project for example. In this project I mostly use the continuous rounds method. Let me show you closely. You can clearly see that the stitches are moving towards the right. But in this particular pattern, it doesn't really bother me because there's no shaping involved. Even this portion where the body is tapering, it just keeps going like this. The thing is, you cannot say that one method is right and one method is wrong. Different methods work well for different projects. But what you need to clearly understand is each method produces results that are a little different. So let's say you're following an amigurumi pattern and it mentions a certain method. Just follow that method. I was following a YouTube video and the designer was working inside out. This is inside out. The designer had worked inside out and she was also working in back loops only, which would be this. Yeah. Alright. At that time I was not familiar with working inside out, so I just worked it how I normally work it. So I worked it in the continuous rounds, right side out. So I made it like this. It turned out so weird. It was a female doll where most of the parts were joined as you go. I don't have pics to show you, but at every level I had to keep editing the pattern. That pattern started from the feet and started working up. What happened was, when I started just the feet, it was proper. It was lined up like this. So as I started making the legs upward, the knees are supposed to be in front, right? But because, the pattern was worked like this and I was trying to work it like this. So naturally the stitches were not lining up the way it is supposed to. So the knees ended up behind the leg. So I had to recalculate all of it, make some alterations to the pattern. And the same thing happened. So it happened. And then joining the two legs was also a problem, more recalculation needed. And somehow I managed even right up to the bust. So from the feet till the bust, almost at every level I had to keep changing the pattern. And when I came to attaching the arms, I finally lost it because I was trying to follow the pattern so badly, and it just didn't work out for me because that particular row had decreases and attaching the arms in the same row, so it required too much of calculations. At that point I discarded that and started over using the method that the designer had suggested. I can assure you, practicing a new technique was easier than editing the entire pattern. At first it's going to be slow, but in 5 or 6 rounds it will get better. If you are a beginner, I would suggest don't be afraid to experiment. It's good to develop your own style, but when a project demands a particular technique, you should be open to try it out. And with that, we've reached the end of this series. Stay tuned, don't go away. Now, the reason why I started this whole series is because going forward, I will be focusing on a lot of amigurumi projects, and most of them will be free patterns and they will be available on my channel. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any new content. Until next time, happy hooking!